Okay, welcome to another episode of Podcats. We're back to our original format here. Well, last homecoming week, we had a couple special episodes that were some unique opportunities to interview some people. So we're back on our normal schedule, and we are joined by two new co-hosts this year. It is Emma O'Brien and Julia Knuth. Said that correctly, right? Welcome. So let's start off with this. Let's have you both introduce yourselves.
All right. My name is Emma. I am a junior.
My name is Julia, and I'm a sophomore.
Okay.
We probably should have said specifically, like, what do you do here? Like, what do you do outside of just the normal class day? What are you involved in?
A lot of things. I do student council, honor societies, and dance.
Yeah, I'm also in student council. I do best buddies after school, sophomore board. I'm trying to think of everything for right now, but that's about it for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And I recruited both of them. I had the opportunity to drive both of them in behind the wheel, and both of them were very entertaining while we drove because we're stuck in a car for 12 hours. There's some students that I get stuck in a car with, and I'm just twiddling my thumbs for those 12 hours. Well, they actually entertain me the whole time. And so I thought they'd be great for the podcast. And so I'm glad you're here. Okay. So we want to start off with maybe some topical things related to what's going on in school. Homecoming just finished up. Again, that was our last couple episodes. So moving forward, there's not a whole lot going on other than the school play, which we have coming up, and then some of our other extracurricular activities. So give a couple shout outs. Last night, Normal West beat Normal Community in volleyball, which I know was a big win for them. Coming off a loss in Intercity, which I actually attended.
And you did not attend last night.
I did not attend last night.
So we know where the loss came from.
I've talked to a few of the players, and I'm convinced that I'm a bad luck charm.
Got it.
Because I saw two of their 3 losses last year, and I saw 2 of their losses this year, which are their only 2.
So you're now on we have a football banned list.
Yes.
Students that aren't allowed to come to our football games for multiple reasons. You are now on the volleyball ban list.
I am. Which also, speaking of football, shout out to them. 2 big wins after a loss to Bloomington.
A throttling loss. That was...
It was pretty rough.
But you have to credit them for coming back.
Absolutely.
And beating 2 really good teams after that. And so hopefully they'll have some momentum moving forward.
Yeah, 2 games that they were, I wouldn't say predicted to lose, but certainly that first game when we played, who was it, Danville? No, not Danville. We played Danville at Danville. Who was it 2 wins ago? We
had Peoria High.
Peoria High, yes. Yeah. The officials commented how good the tackling was from our defense. Mm-hmm. So
I did not think we were going to win that.
Yeah, so that was, and the team that we just played last weekend was big. Mm-hmm. So a couple good wins.
And the 2 of you, were you both there?
I was there.
Okay.
I didn't go last week. I went to Back to the Future on Broadway in St. Louis.
Okay,
that's kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
But yeah, it was. We played pretty good on last Friday, so it was fun to watch.
Can we hear about it as a student perspective as far as what the themes were and whatnot, and how's the student section doing this year?
We're doing not too bad. We're doing, I'd say, pretty good. Last week we had Wild West was our theme, and so everybody kind of had, your jeans, cowboy boots, cowboy hats. Mm-hmm. So that was really fun. I like dressing up for that. And then the week before, USA, that was the homecoming game, yeah. So that was a lot of people dressed up.
So we have one more scheduled home game. Do you know, that's next week, do you know what the theme is?
Yeah, how's that decided?
So on the...
Someone more important than these 2.
I think it's either student council or they have a for senior
council.
Student council.
Or it's senior board, but the seniors on student council, basically.
Yeah. So they always post on the Normalist student section on Instagram, and we can see what the theme is the day and stuff. And so, but I'm not sure what it's going to be this week.
We haven't announced until 2 days before, and then
yeah.
Well, I mean, what's left? I don't know.
We haven't done
Hawaiian.
Have we done Neon? Was for the
That was for
They did that for
Yeah,
the
they
Powder
did
Puff.
not.
Senior Powder Puff was.
Okay.
Halloween's coming up. I feel like a Halloween theme might be pretty good.
Yeah. I don't. Have we ever done? I don't think we've ever done that kind of theme. I'm trying to
They'll
think.
probably come to you
I
for
think so,
some
yeah.
advice. And Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have any predictions, Cooper? What it might be? Nope. Got it. He's not in the loop either. So,
Okay, so one thing you wanted to talk about, and we'll kind of include this as a game because of how clueless Mr. Franz and I are. And we'll essentially just call the game Teaching Two Old Guys
yes.
about pop culture today. Because if you can see this in the video, Emma did us the pleasure of coming up with a really nice typed out long update on pop culture stuff. And as I looked through this, I may as well have been looking at a French study guide because this all looked like a foreign language to me. So
I understood and recognized a few items.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What you
be fun.
understand? What are a few?
well, I mean, I know who Millie Bobby Brown is.
Yeah, love her.
Stranger Things is one of my all-time favorites because
Yeah.
I literally, like, that was when I grew up. Like that, all those references in the 80s, I was that age. So it's almost like they took it from my life. And I even looked like one of the characters in grade school. So
Who is
I
it?
definitely resonate. The
Michael?
The guy with the bowl cut.
the guy with the bowl cut.
Okay.
Did you have a bowl
Interesting.
cut, Mr. Franz?
The one like yeah.
I may have, along with every single other 12-year-old in the country.
I think,
at
I think
that
you should bring it
time.
back.
I don't have enough hair to bring it back, so I can't do it.
cut
That would
toupee.
look great. That would look great.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start at the top of your
We can
your
start at
list
the
here,
top.
and I'm not even going to look at it because it's pointless. And so we'll have you kind of run down some of those topics, and then Mr. Franz and I will try to comment on whether or not we know what it is you're talking about.
Mr.
right.
Franz, you said you've seen Stranger Things.
Oh yeah,
Have you seen Stranger Things?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and Matthew
So-
Modine's character, or Modine, I don't know if it's Modine or Modine. Modine is awesome. Like the Papa is one of the best characters in that show.
And
Yeah.
connecting that to pop culture, Millie Bobby Brown got married to Jake Bon Jovi in May.
Which I'm assuming is
John Bon Jovi's son?
Yes.
son.
okay.
And so I obviously know who that is because that was very popular in my time.
They got married in May, but they didn't release the photos till October 2nd.
So did anyone know that they got married?
I wasn't aware. I don't know
Okay.
if other
So they
people
didn't
were
call
aware.
you or
No, they
you
didn't
weren't
call me
invited?
up.
Unfortunately.
They weren't like,
Got it.
I was aware
Hey, we
that
got
they were
married.
engaged because she talked about it. I don't remember what talk show she was on, but she brought it up and she
Was she on
like
Jimmy Fallon?
it. You know, I think it might have
might
been.
have been Jimmy
I'm not too
Fallon.
sure, but she brought it up, and then I guess they got married in May. But they talked about how she she found out what they were scuba diving, I think, and he hid the ring
Yes.
underwater.
So that was the proposal.
Yes.
Yeah.
He proposed underwater. I remember this now. It's coming back to me.
Yeah.
So do you have opinions on these topics? Do you have?
I just love Millie Bobby Brown.
And you're just happy for her.
I'm just-
Yeah,
You
I
just
was
wanna give
pretty
her a shout out.
excited.
Okay.
I was
Love
pretty
her.
excited to hear that, and like how Matthew Modine, I think,
Oh yes,
he officiated it.
Officiated
Oh,
the
that's cool.
wedding.
So
So that was fun.
That's cool.
And it was in Italy, and I love Italy. So that really resonated with me.
Okay.
as well. All right, Julia, you can take this next one.
yes,
'cause
so
you're very passionate.
I am very excited. Princess Diaries 3 was just announced.
Have you guys watched the first two?
I have not.
I think that I've watched a few minutes of the first Princess Diaries. Is it Anne Hathaway?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like with my daughter Zoe, we watched or at least part of the first one.
Is she
But-
in both?
Yes, and
She's the
she'll
main
be in the
character.
third as well.
Okay.
So it's Anne Hathaway and Julia Andrews. Yeah. So she was Mary Poppins, and so I was very excited to hear that they announced the third because it's been
So many years.
10, 20,
Not 20.
not 20, Maybe around 10 years.
Maybe
It's
10.
It's been a while, so.
But it seems like in Hollywood, there's a lot less creativity than there used to be. Like,
That's what
it
I'm
just seems
saying.
like
It's just
there are
sequels.
always sequels. Let's just play the hits again. Like, there's a Happy Gilmore 2 coming out. Did you see that?
Disney
Wow.
at Disney like 25, like their expo, they announced like 2 original movies and the rest were just sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
Or-
can only get success with their sequels
Right.
now.
Well,
I'm, like,
I'm going to have
sad.
to admit that a lot of topics and storylines have already been made.
Stop.
So
That's why you got to
Yeah.
be creative.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
think
right.
people want to be creative. They just,
So
you're right.
I'm a little nervous that it's not going to be as good as
yeah.
because honestly, it's the second one, in my opinion, still wasn't even as good as the first.
It wasn't as good as the first.
And so I'm not sure about the third. But
And Chris Pine is apparently not coming back either. So like,
I think you just need to enjoy it and not worry about whether it's better
Whether
or
it's
worse
better.
or whatever. They're probably not going to come out with the Princess Diaries 4, so just
Probably not.
enjoy Princess Diaries 3, and
As Mr. Franz and I will.
oh, we will.
Yeah.
We'll,
you gotta watch the
yeah,
first
you
two
have to
first,
watch
though.
the first two.
Okay, definitely that'll be on my list.
All right.
All right, this one. This
This
topic
name
I'm
I
gonna
do
take.
know.
Charlie D'Amelio.
I think I know who she is. Wasn't she really popular around COVID times?
Yes.
No clue.
Popular on TikTok during
don't know who-
COVID.
do you know
She was
how-
like the most followed person on TikTok.
Okay.
I don't know if she still is.
I think there's like a person or
Yeah,
something.
there's a couple. I don't know.
Sorry, what's she famous for?
Just making TikToks, I
Yeah,
think.
just dancing.
It's
dancing.
kind of like
Dancing.
Kardashians
And then-
or
yeah,
those
they had, like, their
some
own
other
Kardashian
people
show.
that just that's how they got famous.
Okay.
But she's had some dance background. She was on Dancing with the Stars, but I'm not super excited about this. But she did join the cast of & Juliet, which is a musical. It is one of my favorite musicals. I've seen it twice in New York. It's so good. But Romeo and Juliet is basically about like if Juliet hadn't taken her life and just like lived.
But Romeo had.
Romeo
so
was
she's
dead,
like,
yeah.
okay,
So she's like,
time
hey,
to move on.
I don't need
and
him.
this is what my
I've known
life
him
would
for
be
3
like.
days. Yeah.
Got it.
And it's just a bunch of pop songs written by, what's his name? Max Martin.
Don't
So,
know who that is.
Like, he is a songwriter that wrote, like, a bunch of Taylor songs.
And I see this list, so I know most of those
Backstreet Boys songs.
songs.
Yeah, these
Oops,
are all
I did
in
it
the
again. I mean, that's classic. One of the best songs ever written.
These are all in the musical. So, Oops, I Did It Again. She, like, falls in love with someone. But, like, 3 days later, and she's like, oh, my gosh, I did it again.
I did this before. It didn't
Yes.
end well the first time.
It's very good. If you have the chance to see it, you have to see it. But she's going to be there October to January. And I'm not sure how to feel.
Do you know
like-
what role she's playing?
She's
Is she Juliet?
charming. She's not Juliet. I
Okay.
probably would have died if she was Juliet. But she's one of the background dancers. So
Okay,
that
so
makes
she
me feel a
doesn't
little
have a
better.
main acting part
No.
in it. Okay.
I'm glad.
I think it'll be good though, cause she's a good
She's a
dancer.
good dancer.
Like I
But-
really enjoyed like watching Dancing with the Stars when she did the Simpsons one.
That was
It
good.
was really good, and so I don't think it'll be that bad. I
Are you a
My
Dancing with the
issue-
Stars fan?
We have that on our
Re-
topic list for
Okay.
later. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a lot to contribute to this topic.
No, that's certainly
You know
not in
what?
that one. Besides knowing who Charlie D'Amelio is.
D'Amelio.
D'Amelio.
Yeah.
And I have seen Schitt's Creek before.
Yes, Max Martin is an executive writer for Schitt's Creek
Yeah.
too.
Got it.
So if he can write that, like the musical's got to be good, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All right, now the Olympics. So did we watch the Olympics?
Okay. I actually
we
probably watched
following it?
more Olympics this year than I watched maybe ever.
It
So
was really good.
It was
this year.
great.
It was good.
great.
So gymnastics. Do you remember Suni Lee?
I know who she is.
Yes. Okay, so she just won Glamour's Woman of the Year. Mm-hmm. So Glamour's a magazine.
Right. Yep.
So I went through her interview that she did with Glamour and just picked out some, like, great things about her because she is pretty great. She's pretty great. One thing that stuck out to me is she had kidney disease in 2023, right before the
That's crazy because kidney
2024
disease is not a good thing.
no,
No.
not at all. So like 3 days before the Olympics, she was still in like getting like dialysis or something.
Whoa.
It was
Wow.
rough, and she was like, "Yeah."
And
I
that's
just did
before the
that.
2024 games?
Yes.
Okay.
That's crazy.
And so she did end up winning all around bronze this year and all around gold in the 2020 Olympics.
Got it. That's
So
still
she's
pretty
good.
decent.
Yeah.
I like the part that you put here is that she fell on the beam routine and then she
Yes.
made a TikTok meme of herself before others could. And I was never very good at laughing
At yourself.
at myself growing up. Now I just whatever.
You'll know.
But it's hard to do, especially nowadays with social media and how brutal
Yeah.
it can be. And so if you can figure out how to laugh first, you're going to be ahead of the game.
It was a TikTok. There was this TikTok trend going around the Olympics that was like fail videos, and it was like, unfortunately, I wasn't selected for the USA 2024 Olympic team, and it was fails. And so she put her thing. It was like, unfortunately, I was selected for the US. It was pretty funny.
And this is what happened.
And it was like right after. I was like, oh my gosh, she is iconic for that.
That's cool.
So going along with the
Julia's
Olympics,
gonna take this one.
did you guys watch the Olympics this year as well?
Yes.
So, there was Alona Mayer.
My favorite. She's an icon.
She won bronze she was one of the like big players on the rugby team.
Women's rugby.
Yeah, women's rugby.
Was she the one that made the final
Yes.
score?
And so,
That was incredible.
That was
That was.
incredible. And we've never, I don't think,
I
have
don't
we
think
ever
we've
medaled
ever
in
No.
women's rugby?
No.
in women's rugby.
We have not.
So this is big.
And she is just such like a kind person, and it was really exciting to see her on the new season of Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
She is an okay dancer.
Did you see her breakdown?
No, I didn't.
She had a little breakdown yesterday, but I think because she messed up a little bit. But she tweeted, she was like, "I'm okay. Dancing is hard, guys."
Is she better than the Australian breakdancer?
I
I think it was Australian, right? Or would you say it was close?
No, it definitely wasn't close. She was definitely better than that.
Okay.
I would say the ray gun is not. Ray gun is not. I don't even know what to say about her. She's just her own person, you know.
So as a dancer, you won't be putting in her routine this year into any of yours?
No,
incorporating
not
that?
the break dance.
No,
Have you guys seen it? Because it's rough.
I have. It
It's-
hurts me to watch.
Yeah.
It does hurt.
I almost had. I think I had to turn it off because I felt uncomfortable.
It's just. Yeah. So,
Sorry I brought it up. That's my fault.
it like I got the shivers just thinking about
All right,
it.
let's move on.
Let's move on.
Because
Let's
I
move
know who
on.
this next guy is, and this was
Yes.
definitely an interesting part of the Olympics.
It was a
Yes.
very interesting part.
The
Very
pommel
iconic
horse
part.
guy.
Pommel horse guy. You want to take this
Yes.
away, Julia?
So, he did awesome on his pommel horse routine. Steven, oh my gosh, I always mess up his last name.
No, Nedorowski?
Nedorowski?
No idea.
No
the pommel
idea.
horse
I
guy.
hope they know who we're
Pommel
talking about.
horse
Yeah,
guy.
No one
pommel
knows
horse
his
guy.
name.
So he was also on Dancing with the Stars, same season, and he's doing awesome on it. His partner is Riley Arnold, so it's been really cool to like see both of the Olympians dance on there. They did this really cool Rubik's Cube dance.
Because he is like a Rubik's Cube champion or something.
He can go very, very fast. There's interviews of him like solving them like in seconds. Like it's
insane.
It's crazy.
You know who else solves Rubik's Cubes really quickly? That guy. No. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
He's not saying me.
I
producer.
mean, not as fast as that guy, I'm sure, but
Maybe like 2 minutes.
I can't
That's still
solve
pretty
it
impressive.
at all.
Yeah, I cannot
I-
solve
I-
a Rubik's Cube.
If you gave me 3 hours, I cannot do it.
I don't
Like,
think. Yeah.
You
no,
would-
thank you.
I would.
Thank you.
It wouldn't matter how much time you gave me. I don't have the patience for it, so.
All right, this is my topic, one I'm very passionate about. Also on Dancing with the Stars, Anna Delvey. Do we know who Anna Delvey is?
No idea.
Nope.
This is new to me too.
I
she's
am
gonna have
very
to teach me
passionate
a
about
little
this because
bit.
it made me very mad.
I think that
Alright.
I've heard of this very rich German heiress
Yep.
that scammed people. And I feel like I read about it somewhere, but I have no idea who she is. And she sounds like she's popular for all the wrong reasons.
Yep,
All right,
exactly.
we'll go off.
Go off. She, like you said, fake German heiress who just scammed people, like her friends, hotels, and like banks out of like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because they were like, she was like, oh yeah, I'll pay you back later. And because she was like so rich, they were just like, okay, yeah.
But she wasn't rich.
She wasn't
and didn't have any money to pay back.
So she is a felon. She is a felon, and she's also like in big trouble with ICE because she overstayed her visa. So she's on house arrest. But of course,
we're gonna
she's
let her
on Dancing with the
stay
Stars.
so she can stay on Dancing with the Stars.
She had her ankle monitor on Dancing with the Stars. Literally, she had her ankle monitor on. She bedazzled it, and that made a lot of people mad because like you're supposed to be on house arrest. Like if you were any other person, you would be deported to your home country by now.
Exactly. Yep.
But she's not, and it makes me very mad. And what's even worse is they got eliminated. Like I think the first elimination episode, they got the most elimination votes in history of the show.
Does that mean we don't want her on the show?
Don't want her on the show.
Okay, so that's how you vote. It's a negative vote, not a positive vote.
Yes. Well, you can vote positively, but like, there's also elimination episodes. It's a whole thing.
And this makes me sick. So I didn't realize she's the Inventing Anna girl.
Yeah.
Did you see that show?
Documentary?
Yeah.
No.
Inventing Anna is about her on Netflix.
She was paid $320,000 to be a paid consultant for the show.
Yep.
So basically, the moral of the story is let's just come up with some crazy scam, right? And then we'll just be consulted when Netflix does
A documentary.
Yeah.
Like.
Make bank.
It makes me
and
so
be on
mad.
Dancing with the Stars.
Hey, maybe she can pay back some of her people.
Yeah, she probably spent it all though. That's the issue with people like that. Like you can spend $320,000 pretty quickly if you try to live extravagantly. So
she would go to court every day in like designer outfits, and then there was like an Instagram page like devoted to her designer outfits to court. Yeah. And I'm just like,
makes me sick. All right.
Finally, last thing I want to say about her is they got eliminated with 14 million votes, and the person asked, like the host asked her, like, what did you get from this experience? And
nothing.
She said nothing.
Yeah, well, and that's probably what everyone else got from her being on that experience as well.
There was no emotion on her face when she was dancing. Yeah. She was just there. Like I was like, oh, that's not good. And then her partner, Ezra Sosa, really great guy, love him. He got a tattoo on his back that says nothing in quotes, like immediately afterwards. That was entertaining for me.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that made me mad. But
it takes all kinds of kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's next? Hold on. How much time do we have?
10 minutes-ish.
Yep,
10 minutes? Okay, I think we have time for a couple more topics.
Okay.
We're skipping. We're skipping Olivia Rodrigo. I know who that is. I don't know who Sabrina Carpenter. No, let's skip.
Well, let's skip all the way down to the last one. Is one that
Don't you want to finish with that?
Well,
you can go back up though.
True.
We can go back.
We can go back up. So one that I'm really excited to talk about. Not even really excited, but I thought was really interesting was. Did you see the goalposts?
I did.
We included this one for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We needed one.
Yeah.
There may be someone in this room that helped tear down a goalpost at Northern Illinois in, I think, 1991, maybe? Mm-hmm. I don't know who that was. But
hypothetically.
Goalposts used to be easier to tear down, so I was impressed that they got that thing down.
Have you seen the videos? There was
it is so many. There's
so many
thousands
people.
and thousands.
It was pretty funny when they were parading it down Broadway in Nashville.
That was
whoever doesn't know what we're talking about. Vanderbilt fans tore down the goalpost and threw it in the Cumberland River after beating Alabama,
which was like their biggest win in school history,
definitely
by far.
And
so that was pretty cool.
Definitely
super exciting to see like that just like happen. Like I was like, oh my goodness, this is happening.
It's been a while since that's happened at a college football game, so I'm sure there won't be the last one.
Yeah, and something I read is that she put on there a goalpost cost between $10,000 and $20,000. I believe the SEC, their conference, also fines them like $100,000. But I can promise you, Vanderbilt would pay that 100 times over to beat Alabama again. So that's nothing for them.
Yep, and they probably have plenty of well-to-do alumni that are going to pay that fine off. So
exactly.
Yep.
All right.
Skipping kind of back,
Is there
I
any
think.
topics we haven't touched on that you guys want to talk about?
Oh, I mean,
That are on here.
So much pop culture,
So
I
much
can't
pop
even in my
culture.
brain. I don't even have TikTok, so that would probably.
yeah. I mean, I
Or
watch like reels or whatever.
Instagram
So-
Reels.
Instagram Reels?
I'll go down a rabbit hole on that sometimes, like right before I go to bed, which is a terrible time to do it. But so that's how I know who some of these people are. And I listen to a lot of different music. So Olivia Rodrigo is actually a pretty talented
Yeah.
singer.
she is.
So
Chapel Roan, I know who that is.
Chapel Roan, that is on the list.
I
She's
don't know who
pretty
that
I
is.
can talk
Who?
about Chapel Roan.
Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chapel Roan.
I don't know her. No idea. I've never heard her.
Really?
She's the
I'm
Good
surprised by
Luck
that.
Babe.
No, that's her song.
These are all of her songs.
Okay.
Hot to Go is her probably
Have you
most
heard Hot
popular
to I
song.
feel like you've probably
Yeah,
heard
you
Hot
probably
to
Maybe
Go.
I have. Maybe I have.
I'm not going to sing it.
Cooper,
but-
do you know who that is? No.
No.
So if Cooper
Really?
doesn't know, then I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to sing Hot to Go.
Look at me.
but-
Yeah, that's
very
I'm
iconic.
impressed.
She's kind of
Yeah,
like
I'm very proud of you.
Lady Gaga from.
yes.
It's just who she's kind of compared to. She wears
like
yeah,
very, yeah. Like,
She's very. Was that on the Jimmy Fallon show too with her white?
yes. With she kind of had like feathers. It was.
Someone
it was-
go look up her
it was-
white Jimmy Fallon
It
outfit.
was
'cause
really
it was so
interesting.
good.
It was. She has these big extravagant outfits that are like, just like so like
Iconic.
interesting.
Yeah.
Iconic.
I need to start
Her-
watching Jimmy Fallon maybe a little more because
Maybe.
Yes.
it sounds like you've referenced him in his show several times, and I used to watch SNL, which you had that somewhere
have it
on
on
here. Yeah,
here.
SNL season 50. I mean, shoot, I was pretty close to watching the first couple seasons of SNL.
Yeah.
In fact, I probably did maybe season 2 or 3, but SNL has had some great runs
Yeah.
and some
That is true.
SNL seasons that you would never have seen, but they used to have it's just amazing.
And they have endless clips.
The
that
people,
are-
John Belushi and Eddie Murphy and
Yeah.
Chevy Chase and names that you probably aren't too familiar with.
I know
I've
Eddie
heard a
Murphy.
couple. Yeah.
John Belushi's been dead for 40 years.
Yeah. Chris Farley.
Chris
My
Farley was
favorites
awesome.
on SNL. My favorite is probably Colin Jost. What's her name? Black Widow's husband, Scarlett Johansson's husband. I love Colin Jost.
Yeah.
He's probably my favorite on the Weekend Update.
Yeah, he's good.
I love
Will
Colin
Ferrell,
Yes.
pretty solid.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dana Carvey. I mean, holy cow, there's so many names. Rosanna, Dana. You should watch some old.
Old SNL.
Older
SNL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We can come back to Chapel, but if we were going to talk about SNL, we can talk about SNL. Season 50 premiered September 28th. Gene Smart hosted it. I didn't know his name, but I knew his face. Do you guys know who Gene Smart is?
I don't. I know who Jelly
knew
Roll
his
is.
face. You know who Jelly Roll is?
I do too.
don't know who Jelly Roll
He's
is.
awesome.
You
I don't know
who Jelly Roll
music.
is?
I'm
Really?
sorry. I listened to Chapel Roan, Olivia Rodrigo, and Taylor Swift. Like, there's no in between.
He's
You know who Jelly Roll is, right?
He's a big country artist right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
and
that's
he,
why you know him.
Well,
He's a big boy,
He is.
he-
and he's a former convicted felon.
yes. For,
He is a convicted felon, but
He's got tattoos all over his face and everything, right?
so he's hard to miss. Like
I feel like I would know his face.
I think you would too. I think he was put in prison at like when he was really young, like, and it's still in his teen years and stuff. I think it was for drug dealing.
yeah, I think you're correct.
So, but then he kind of turned his life around once he got out, and now he's this really big country singer. You probably know some of his songs too.
Probably.
There,
Don't know that guy's
Oh.
face.
a lot of
He was-
face tattoos and
He was at Tailgate and Tall Boys either this year or last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
just very very talented musician.
Just the difference between getting out of prison and turning your life around and getting out of prison and going on Dancing with the Stars. I
Yeah,
mean,
there. I'm gonna go with Jelly Roll on this
I
one.
can't
for-
stop talking about how much I hate Anna Delvey. Like, she makes me so mad. Back to Chapel real quick. I love her. She released Pink Pony Club in 2020. Not a lot of listeners, so she was dropped. But Olivia Rodrigo had her open for a lot of her shows. I saw her. I didn't know who she was.
I was appalled. I was like, you went to go see her and you didn't stay for the opener. I
hadn't heard of her. I was like, who's Chapel Rowan?
And I was like, I had to explain it to her because it was...
But I was like, okay, she's good. I just, like, I don't know openers. Like, when I saw Taylor, I didn't know Owen or whatever.
Who's Taylor?
Taylor Swift. Sorry, I apologize.
Joking.
Okay, that's good. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
goodness.
Oh, goodness. But that's when she, like, skyrocketed to fame.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after her first couple of shows of Olivia, everybody loved her. Everyone was singing Hot to Go. And then, like, her whole album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, like, wow, everybody loved it.
I'm going to have to
Yeah.
put that on
It's pretty good.
Spotify.
It
when
is
I-
pretty good.
110,000 at Lollapalooza.
That was, I
Yeah.
think, the biggest
The biggest crowd on
crowd
record.
ever.
Wow, that's cool.
So, yeah, it was... one of my friends actually went to go see her at Lollapalooza, and she told me it was awesome. So
I can't even imagine that many people in Grant Park. If you've
I
never
would
been
not. I would not be around for that.
No.
I'm not a big fan of crowds.
no, I think I'd be a
Agreed.
little I'd be scared.
Tailgates
to
and
get...
Tallboys was a little too much for me.
See,
Yeah.
I love that.
So-
I pulled her to tailgate and Tallboys with me. I go every year, so
I think it's so cool that we have that here in
I think
Bloomington Normal.
it's awesome. Do you guys go to that?
I
do
know
not.
my daughter's gone the last couple of years, but that's not my scene. I love music and I like live music, but that's too many people.
I feel like going once was enough for me. Don't know if I need to go
Really?
again.
It got bigger. It got bigger this year, I'd say. Last year, I went to see the same person 2 years in a row. So I saw Bailey Zimmerman last year, and then I saw him again this year. And the crowd is a lot bigger this year. I think it was actually one of the biggest crowds. Like
It was
He kept
really
saying
hot.
that. That's what made me mad.
Really hot too.
it was pretty hot.
And stormy the first night,
We
right?
didn't go the first night. We
Because the
went
first
the
night was canceled, I believe.
third?
I think it's the third. I'm trying to think because there was Riley Green. There was I don't remember the other openers, but or the
They're
other
not
like.
important.
But last
Oh,
year
Leo Marlene was there.
was she there? I think she
think
was.
so.
Didn't play it though.
Yeah,
She did
I think
not? I thought
think
she did.
Did last year?
No thanks.
Last year I also went to go see Lainey Wilson. Do you know who that
That
is?
was your
Lainey
favorite.
Wilson?
You talk about her
Yes,
all the time.
I think she's so cool. She sang
Give me
like
a song.
"Heart Like a Truck." That's a really popular
Yep,
song.
I know that song.
Do you know that song?
I don't.
You're not a big country music fan.
I don't
mean,
listen
I'm
to
not
music
a country
much.
music fan either.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
fair.
Well, a lot of people in my family really like that, so
Yeah.
it was pretty cool to like see her live and all of that. So I thought that was one really cool thing from over the summer that I enjoyed to go to.
Okay.
But 110,000 is insane.
110,000 at Lollapalooza is
Yeah.
a lot.
That's cool.
lot.
All right. Is that pretty much everything
Yeah.
with
I
our
think
pop?
we're wrapped.
This will be a fun thing, like a time capsule for you to look back on and see.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
in 10 years down the road, what it was.
It should be, out on the web forever.
Be
So
there forever. Yeah.
when you
Spotify.
guys have kids or grandkids,
Oh,
you're
no.
like, hey, listen to me.
Talk about
talk
Chapel
about-
Rowan.
Yeah.
Chapel Rowan.
Chapel
And she'll be
Rowan.
like 45 and
And
Still popping. She'll
actually,
probably
yeah,
still be iconic.
probably. So
What
Yeah.
was your guys' favorite topic we talked about today?
Man, I don't know.
There's a lot of good ones.
There were.
There's a lot of good
I mean,
ones.
I think
Well,
that I'm
you know
going
what?
to
Here's
try
what I
to
will say.
listen to that person, to Chapel Rowan.
for sure.
Here's what I'll say. I, probably until 10 years after I graduated college, I felt like I was still somewhat with pop culture. I've never felt more washed up than when I went through this list and just old and out of touch. And it's
But
officially hit me.
It's okay, though. Like,
It is.
your circle is your family.
Yeah.
And so you're more interested in how JB4 is progressing as a pitcher.
Okay.
And, that's just the way it goes
Yeah,
when
I think
you
as
have
my kids
kids
get into pop culture more, then I'll probably know more. So it's kind of like a circle. I'm
How
I
old
sure.
are
still don't. I have
Oh, never
kids that
mind.
are teenagers and
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
true.
How old are your kids now?
They are 9 and 7.
Oh, so
Okay.
I got a little ways.
Little
to
ways,
go.
yeah.
I mean, I have 20 or no, 18. Zoe's not even 19. I don't know what I'm talking about. 18, 15, and 13. So they kind of in the heart of the pop culture stuff. But
Yep. All right. Before we send this off, I want to talk about real quick the hurricane going on in Milton. That's a topical thing today. That's supposed to hit. This is on Wednesday, and just
Like
I know my
about now, right?
Yeah, my thoughts go out to all the people there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us listening probably have someone that we know that lives down there that might be affected by it. So thoughts go out to all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. All right, and we'll thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for the
first
education.
time. The education.
So
And we'll head to our interview.
All right.
All right.
today's podcast sponsor is Select Screen Prints. Select Screen Prints has been in partnership with Normal West for over 25 years, providing quality Wildcat apparel at an affordable price. Choose Select Screen Prints for all of your custom t-shirt, sweatshirt, and apparel needs. They now offer digital printing, which allows for fast turnaround and excellent quality at prices that are less expensive than most online apparel companies. Select Screen Prints is the choice in Bloomington Normal area and beyond. Check them out for your next apparel order.
Welcome back to the podcast. We're joined here by three very special guests. I'm joined here to my left by Lynn Southall, Ms. Barth, and Dane Schlipmann. So thank you for coming on. So we wanted to bring you in preparation for the big fall play that's coming up, which is the Crucible. So I wanted to have you start off by, number one, telling me when I can come see the Crucible, and number two, kind of tell me what it's about. So I'll let any of you step in. I think you're the director,
Okay,
so yeah.
yeah.
Let's
Mix, Gavin, and I are the directors, and the Crucible opens Friday, October 11th, and it closes October 13th. You can see the shows Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 2.
Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit about what I will be seeing. So I did a tad bit of research, so I have an idea. It sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, can you share a little bit more?
Yeah. The Crucible is set in Salem, Massachusetts in the 1690s. It follows John Proctor and Abigail Williams amongst a few other cast of characters and the Salem witch trials.
Okay.
So lots of mass hysteria and just crazy things happening on stage.
Very much so. If you've ever heard about the Salem witch trials, very much so. So how did you end up choosing this? That's something that interests me, is how do you ultimately decide what
For sure, yeah.
the show is going to be?
This year, so this is my first show I've ever directed. And we, as the directing staff, wanted to pick a show that we were familiar with. And The Crucible is a show that we read in English 3, and I teach English 3 throughout my day. And so I'm very familiar with the story of The Crucible, and that's kind of why we picked this show specifically to read.
And was there any like cultural significance that went along with it or anything, or that came to your decision?
Not really.
No.
We just were like, well, there are kids who have read it within the building, and we would get more kids an opportunity to be able to see it. So we thought that more students would be able to come through and audition and come see the show since they've read it in class.
Okay. Let's start with this. So let's have you each tell us about yourselves and then sort of what your role is in the play. We'll start with you, Lynn.
Well, as has been told, my name is Lynn. I am mostly a theater person. I've done theater since, I don't even know. I think I've done theater since like kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
Because they've given us scripts for years and years. So I really like theater. I really like music. I was in the musical for the last 2 years.
Yep.
And
She crushed it as the donkey last year.
Yeah.
I can't live that down.
As you shouldn't. It was a very good
iconic,
performance.
Lynn.
Absolutely.
I can't live it down. I get recognized in public, and it's scary. But I'm playing Elizabeth Proctor, and she is like the wife that is kind of being like the main one that's accused, because Abigail Williams wants to get with her husband John Proctor, and that's like, it's not the main story, but it's like one of the main plots of the thing.
Okay. And Dane, a little backstory about Dane here. Dane was one of my JV golfers last year. I was the JV golf coach. And so I noticed on tryouts this year that Dane was not at tryouts, and come to find out after doing some digging that he tried out for the fall play. So while I was bummed to not, be able to see him every day, I was happy that he found another passion. So Dane, tell me about your role and how you got into it.
Well, I had done the fall play at my junior high, and then I stopped to do golf my freshman and sophomore year. And this year I was like, hey, I'll try it again. And so I did, and I ended up doing pretty well at auditions, I guess. And I ended up being John Proctor, who is the main guy in the play.
Very cool. And what year are both of you in school now?
I am a senior in high school.
You're a senior, okay. And
I'm a
Dane,
junior.
Dane, you're a junior. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I was going to have you, tell me a little bit about your background. So you said you've been doing it since you were in kindergarten. So do you still get any sort of stage fright or anything? Or do you feel pretty comfortable now at this point when you get on stage?
It honestly depends. When I'm on stage and performing for like a play or production, I don't really have stage fright necessarily because I can't see the audience because of the lights. But if I'm in a classroom and they're like, Lynn, you gotta give a speech, I'm not gonna do that speech well because I can see everyone staring at me. I'm just like, But stage fright, mostly during productions, you can't see the audience. And you're usually in your own little world of, this is the show. You're basically doing the same thing that you've done all of rehearsal, except there's more people, but they're kind of invisible now. So that's usually what's in my head.
And then you maybe are in a little bit different situation. What about for you?
I've always been fine with like public speaking and stuff, so I don't really get it much.
Okay, good deal. So what has been the biggest challenge so far? And you can speak with this, like, does this play bring any more challenges than other ones up to this point, I guess? And also along with that, how long have you been practicing, or what?
We've been rehearsing since It's okay. The last week in August. So it was like 2 weeks after school started.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We've been we auditioned, and then we didn't really start rehearsals till after Labor Day, but that Tuesday after Labor Day, and then up until this week.
So it is a lot of time, but also goes fast, I'm sure.
It does. And especially when you have some screwy weeks in there with homecoming. We had some shortened rehearsals. There was a choir concert. We got kicked out of the auditorium for a couple days, and we had to practice in the cafeteria. But, we're flexible and we keep things moving. And it didn't feel like a lot of time, but we got a lot done in those 4 or 5 weeks.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So what have been the biggest challenges so far? Have there been any?
I don't know. Some people we're really struggling with their lines, but we've gotten those pretty well down pat, hoping that they stay that way because we open in 2 days. So, but overall, I think that's really been our biggest thing, is just learning the lines and making sure our blocking is correct. But all in all, it has been a pretty smooth process.
And are there any accents involved that we can look forward to?
There are not accents, because it's set in America, so we've got some American accents going on.
American accent.
Have there been any funny or surprising moments while rehearsing?
The beard.
The beard.
No, I had to wear a beard for some time.
Okay.
But we decided not to do it because once I walked on stage, everyone just died of laughter. So
it was a really bad beard.
That almost makes it better though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but when John Proctor's wife can't look at him without laughing, we have a little bit of an issue.
It looked ridiculous.
It didn't go all the way up to his ears, and so it was just on his chin. It was bad.
It didn't even match your hair color, so it just looked weird.
Now, can we grow a real beard? Have we attempted to?
I could, but I wouldn't be able to do it in the span of 10 minutes. So
okay.
Yeah. Because it's only in the last scene of the show where Dane needs facial hair.
Okay.
So we have achieved it with makeup.
Well, I really want to see this, so I don't know if maybe whenever I decide to come, if you could maybe just bust that out for at least one of the shows, that would be great.
Just let us know what day you're coming, and we'll make it happen.
Good deal. What about any other funny moments, surprising moments so far?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot.
It's hard to think. We've been rehearsing for so long. You gotta go think back.
I would say the ones that were funny to me, even though I wasn't on stage, was the beginning of the court scene, especially the part where Bailey has to run towards Corey in like a fit of anger because we had a really hard time blocking that, and it was really funny to just see them nearly get into a fight over and over again. Mm-hmm. And the other one was the fart line, because it's weird in the 1600s that they're using the word fart.
The line is a fart on Thomas Putnam, so he's like, like insulting him almost. And Dane broke every single time. There was one day we had to go over it for like 20 minutes so that we stopped giggling when they said the word fart.
Just gotta take a pause and just walk away and come back to it. Fair enough. Okay, and so approximately how many students are involved in this? So in the play itself, and then also I know you have some behind the scenes in production.
So we have 23 students in the cast.
Okay.
And then in the crew, I think there's like 15-ish, give or take. I think 12 to 15. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
okay.
Yeah, and they're doing all sorts of things. Acting, we had one student who's really good sewing, so they sewed a lot of the skirts that you'll see on stage. We had a student lighting designer, so Jasper Thomason designed all of the lighting you'll see on stage.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, and do we usually find about the same amount of people? I think maybe Lynn, maybe you can answer this, but is it usually about the same people or same amount of people that do the musical as opposed to the fall play, or both? No?
No. No.
No and no.
I feel like there's a lot of more things with musical. Like, it doesn't seem like it at first, but you have to think about, like, at least with Shrek, there was so many things. We needed to have, like, a big behind-the-scenes group for, like, the makeup. Yeah. Because the green makeup, that was a whole hassle. The pit was needed a lot. I love the pit.
Lynn, what is a pit? So for the people that don't know.
I definitely know, but I mean, let's just have you tell us.
Basically, it's like take like orchestra and band and put them next to the stage, and they're what makes the music that you sing along to during the musical. Okay. And also microphones were important, because in the Crucible, we don't have microphones. It's mainly just on us to project. And musical, there's a whole group of people that are in charge of the microphones and making sure that everyone is heard. There's like a big box backstage that all the microphones are connected to.
And is the practice time for that, the rehearsing, I keep using the word practice.
Okay.
Is the rehearsing time for the musical usually longer than it is for a fall play?
Yes, because there's songs and acting.
Right.
We're starting to audition for the musical in 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Well, it's like starts in November. So, yeah. Are you in the Google Classroom?
Are we allowed to share what that's going to be?
We are not yet. Okay. We are announcing the name of the musical at the concert.
Okay.
So.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So come to the concert.
Come to the concert.
And stay tuned.
Yes.
And you'll find out. Okay. Last thing. Last question I have for you is what do you want people to get out of this?
The show.
Is there anything out of the show? Yeah. Is there anything specifically?
I like the show because it. I don't know. For me, it feels like it calls out society, and I know a bit of background on the book is that the writer of The Crucible actually made it to compare to the Red Scare that was happening.
McCarthyism, correct? Yeah.
And he mainly did that to, like, kind of like pick apart how, like, this doesn't make sense. This is like the witch trials. And I feel like there's definitely things today that can be brought back to The Crucible as a way to, like, learn about how society is and that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, anything else, I guess, from teaching?
I mean, She kind of hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, I really don't have much to add from what Lynn said.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you all coming on. Best of luck or break a leg, as they'd say. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought. Okay. And everyone come out and see it.
Yeah, for sure.
And so again, Friday, Saturday,
Yep.
and Sunday. So you got plenty of options to come see it.
Yes.
All at, what time is Friday though?
Friday's at 7. Friday and Saturday are at 7, and Sunday is at 2.
2. Okay. All right. Got it. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you.